Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 4 has seen a flurry of nerfs and changes this week. In the latest update, Fortnite has lowered the Hive Queen's health, nerfed the Wrecker Revolver double pump meta, trimmed up the Swarm Strike rocket launcher's power, and severely nerfed the new mobility medallions. In this video, we're going to break down every change and share how the community reacted and give the playstyle tips for both casual and competitive players moving forward. First up, the Hive Queen has had their total HP reduced in all modes. Solos through squads will now see the Insect Queens going down faster, which will allow you to get in and out of the hives before somebody can loot up and prepare to third party you and grab the medallion. Even though the medallion nerf might make these POIs less attractive now, I would still be going for the Queen at the Hive or Ranger's Ruin off the rip. Players currently have universally the same feelings toward this as well. Public match players have welcomed this change because clearing a Hive is now far quicker, which means less time exposed to third parties, and many players have noted that the Queen was already pretty easy to kill, so cutting her health mostly speeds the run up. Competitive players have pointed out that while it speeds up rotations, squads will still need to clear out the swarms of smaller bugs first, so the overall risk reward at high level still hasn't disappeared. With the Insect Queens now with significantly less HP, you can afford to drop at the Hive or at Ranger's Ruin more aggressively. Clearing these things has become faster, so grab a mythic drop like the Wrecker Revolver or the Tactical Shotgun from these POIs and escape before a second team arrives to third party. If you aren't going for the bosses right off the rip, you'll see opponents rush into these POIs, so approach these with aggression and secure the Insect Queen early. Even though the Surge and Spring Leg medallions that were tied to each of these Insect Queens are nerfed, it can still be worth grabbing the Queen off the rip if you see the other locations are too hot to drop at. Next up, the Double Pump Wrecker Revolver combo has been nerfed to have a cooldown between swapping these shotguns. If you were already used to this tech, then obviously the damage you could output is going to be drastically reduced. The revolver's mid to long range damage was also trimmed by about 4% and its maximum effective range to about 30 to 50%. Basically, you can no longer spam two Wrecker Revolvers back to back with no delay. The damage per shot has also slightly been lowered, with the legendary Wrecker Revolver now doing 90 damage versus 94 damage, for example. Many players in the community hate this change. Some praised it, saying the Wrecker double pump was too oppressive, while others complained that it was a fun combo that was already being taken away. In ranked play, players are going to have to immediately adjust their aim rather than relying on the swap speed. The good news though is that the Wrecker Revolver is still very strong, it's just not spammable anymore. Don't expect to be swapping between two Wreckers instantly anymore. Instead, use the Wrecker Revolver with another high damage weapon like a shotgun and pair it with mobility. For example, you can still kind of double pump by swapping the Wrecker Revolver into a sweeper shotgun. A solid loadout right now is the enhanced Wrecker Revolver and a sweeper shotgun, and make your shots deliberate, land the first headshot, then swap to finish. If you're in a chaotic fight, make sure you open with the Wrecker Revolver, then quickly switch to the sweeper to clean it up. If you're in a public match, casual players should focus on aiming for limbs or heads. The lower fire rate now means missed shots are costly, and in ranked you may now opt for more ranged alternatives in situations where the old double pump would have dominated. I still wouldn't ditch the Wrecker Revolver entirely though. Its 2-tap potential remains deadly at close range, and after the patch I noticed that many people are still carrying a single Wrecker for quick eliminations. That being said, paired with the rest of the changes, it doesn't really make the Wrecker Revolver any weaker and is still a solid pickup in any loadout so far. Next, the Swarm Strike rocket launcher also saw a nerf across every rarity. This nerf could have honestly been a lot worse and really only made it so you have to aim more carefully with the launcher in order to still land that perfect one shot. Its damage radius was reduced by about 15%, meaning the splash area around each explosion is a bit smaller now. The base damage was standardized for 32 for legendary and 30 for epic, and with the usual 3.5x damage bonus per rockets that detonate midair before hitting the terrain, basically one direct hit rocket still obliterates any target, but grazing shots now will deal slightly less damage. Many players agreed that the Swarm Strike rocket launcher was a bit overpowered at launch and needed a tweak. Most just kind of shrugged off this change and continued to use it, and after the update, people have noted that a well-placed Swarm Strike still feels brokenly strong, especially versus vehicles and builds thanks to the explosion damage multiplier. The Swarm Strike still remains a high skill, high reward weapon after the nerf. You can prioritize direct hits or area damage on the terrain. If you want that guaranteed one shot, aim the rocket so it explodes right on top of the enemy or structure to get that 3.5 bonus to its rocket damage. And at longer ranges or against moving targets, don't expect a near miss to do the huge damage like it did any longer. You should be pairing the Swarm Strike rocket launcher now with the new mobility items to close the distance quickly. Casual players can also keep using the Swarm Strike rocket launcher for surprise plays, but we all know the margins are a bit tighter, and in ranked play, skilled users can still use this to one-shot an enemy or in a vehicle. The only thing you're going to be seeing is less splash damage kills, and in both cases, don't neglect shockwaves or the new OXR rifle. And finally, the meta medallion saw a nerf, with the Spring Leg and Surge medallion seeing a significant nerf in a move that basically made Demon's Debris way more of a ghost town than it used to be. The Spring Leg medallion no longer provides a long distance jump and the omnidirectional movement that it used to. The Surge medallion also had its sliding speed reduced by half and its running speed reduced pretty drastically. The Spring Leg had its height cut by 27% and the stamina cost to use it increased by 50% as well, and the Surge's boost now gives 10% less run speed and half the sliding distance. This was the most controversial nerf of the entire bunch. Most players think Season 4's identity was its crazy overpowered items and mobility, but players have vented on social media calling the medallion changes season ruining, as these powers went from must-haves every match to not being worth it at all. Many players are also now saying that they avoid the insect medallions due to them being nerfed so hard and the potential for being killed right off the rip, but with the Spring Leg and the Surge medallion medallions both weakened, I wouldn't be relying on them for escapes or aggressive jukes. For example, don't plan on any double jump escapes away from a build fight. Now it barely shifts your movement. Likewise, I wouldn't expect any huge slide from the Surge medallion as well. If you need help adjusting to these medallion changes, what I would do first is build more traditionally. If you need more height, consider shockwaves instead of the spring leg medallion, and use the medallion situationally now. Even nerfed, one Surge medallion can help close a short gap in combat, and one spring leg is better than none. Save them for repositioning rather than constant mobility. And finally, I would expect more counterplay. Chasers can now more easily keep up or punish while you're airborne or sliding slowly. In ranked, it's going to be a lot less about who gets the medallions right off the rip and who engages the medallion shortly after. Overall, Epic's goal was to slow the season's breakneck pace and shift towards skill. Understanding these tweaks and practicing these updated mechanics can keep you ahead of the meta. These changes push the game back towards a balanced, skill-based gameplay rather than simply who can get lucky with the new medallions first. The Hive Queens do go down faster, but their medallions aren't as unstoppable as they were back during launch day. The double pump revolver swap is no longer an instant elite combo, and the swarm strike demands an actual precision now. The meta is also now leaning more towards balanced loadouts, actual gunfights instead of ability abuse, and smarter movement that doesn't rely on a single medallion to carry you through the win. Expect POIs like Demon's Debris and Ranger's Ruin to still get some traffic from opportunistic players, but you'll still see a diverse drop pattern as players realize they can win without rushing the queen every game. Anyway, that's really all I've got for you today, guys. Like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.